Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today here in Circus Minor, I believe it is. Last episode we had a talk with this sculpture over here. It's a little bit crazy, but he had a sculpture of the Sorrow, the thing that attacked us in our Temple of Mind or something. I'm not really sure where we were, but we were somewhere and the Sorrow went there. Well, if it's in my mind, the Sorrow is usually an emotion, so it makes sense. Last episode was also, we also talked to these guys over here. That's right, I was looking for them. These guys apparently are the adoptive fathers of Jerem over there, or Yerem, or something to that extent. And he doesn't know that he has traveled in time. He probably can't go back. That's why they want to say what happened to him, but... Anyway, we were continuing to move on down here, and in between episodes I was looking over here. Yes, we have slavers over here. We saw them before. But, ooh, quite cool over here. Quite cool. But I was looking, and I saw this thing. You see that? I'm thinking they keep the slaves down in there. Do these slavers say anything, or is that just a guy? Or girl? I think it's a girl. We stash slaves here. We don't sell them. The ones down below are bound for the bloom. Yeah, we have heard about the bloom before. I guess we're gonna learn about that. Anyway, let's have a chat here with Torment, see what she thinks of this whole affair. As you approach, the wild-haired woman eyes you speculatively and whispers something to her companions. They burst out laughing and a slight smirk plays about her lips. A breathing mask dangles from a cord around her neck, and you can see where it has cut permanent grooves into her face. She ruffles her hair, messing it still further, and sings out, "Come to buy a slave cast-off. If you've come to me, you must want something of the sort." He's a fresh one, she thinks. I can smell it on him. Wait, she knows I'm a cast-off? How? The tattoo. I've had dealings with your kind before. I know about you. And she rakes her fingers through her hair. If anything, the motion serves to obscure her vision even more. So, cast-off. I have information you might want. Of course, it comes with a price. Okay, so she just playing me for sure. What kind of information do you have? You think you'll get it from me that easily? I don't think so. I know your type. You cast-offs. Not a one of you can be trusted. I give you this information, you're gone before I can collect my price. So you'll forgive me if I decline to say outright what secrets I hold. One of my wards has run off, she says. She's taken a head wound, not my doing, and I've been watching after her. I don't know where she's gone, but I suspect she's headed to the cliff's edge. Plenty of other urchins clamoring about the place, and she'd find it easy to blend in. Sadly, my trope and I are detained here, so we can't go ourselves. Yeah, these lack neighbors are tired of hunting her. Damned girl hides well. Too well, she thinks. She's a scrawny child, name of Vereen, head wound, but it's covered by dark curly hair, has a little necklace around her throat, babbles about her gods. Go get her for me, and I will tell you what you want to know. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that. Let's answer me, but I'm not gonna say that outright. Answer a few questions, a few other questions for me first. Sure, fine. So, can you tell me about yourself? I'm a slaver. I'm the last person you want to make an enemy. I've got a reputation for coming through on my word. Nothing else needs concern you. Okay, so what can you tell me about the Order of Truth? You want to deal with them? I'll be my guest. Those pompous Aeon priests are up by Government Square. Think they can unlock the secrets of the past, but they're not focusing on what's most important, which is creating for the future. They say they're studying, learning, but the fact is, they're not doing anything useful. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Okay, I actually... not really sure if I believe her, but my character maybe would sympathize with her. I don't know, maybe. I think so. But he's not gonna. I'm not gonna help her. I am gonna go to the cliff's edge though, because I got a journal entry. So maybe we're gonna be able to talk to this kid. I had some. I hope so, because that is proper quest design. If that's like that, I had some questions about the cult of the changing god. Her lips curl. Delusional meaning seekers. They spend their time chasing their imaginary deity, ignoring what it means to be alive. Oh, what has he done now, they say. Can I tongue his divine arse? As if knowing his life makes theirs any better. Well, let's see. So this is, why do I care what I tell her? So I could say, by studying his actions, they might be able to replicate his successes. I don't think that's the case, or I don't think my character would go for that. If studying his life provides meaning to theirs, who are you to judge? Well, yeah, I suppose that would be the one I would personally go for, and maybe my character as well. I don't consider myself a charming rogue, but let's go with this one. Try to get her to Try to get her to open up, maybe. They're misguided. The only way to understand life is to experience it. But of course, this is gonna get my tides all up. Of course. Ah, it doesn't matter. This red tide is raised a small amount. The perpetual sneer on her face loosens slightly. No, not what I expected to hear from someone of your age. But at least you're not entirely stupid. Don't think our shared opinions makes us friends, though. Well, I actually was hoping for that. I have some questions about slavery in Saga's Cliffs. It's not so bad. Not horrific. Almost no one sells them for parts anymore. Fact is, most of them go down to the Bloom, where they can work off their debt to society by opening a maw or two. It's not a forever thing, it's just a punishment. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. So it's more of a slavery as in the sense of what you had, well, in ancient Greece, maybe? Not really. Slavery in ancient Greece was... There were two tiers back then. You had... people were, you know, Hellenic, or Greek, rather, they weren't Greek, they were Hellenic, and they were slaves, but to the land, and I think the Romans had that as well, that system for a little while, in the kingdom era, before the empire came, and then they stopped that or something. I don't really remember the details, but there's two types of slavery. There's, well, there's this, punishment is another thing as well, but I think it might be more than that, or at least, you know, it probably wouldn't be just punishment. It's probably just gonna be, oh, I found this guy out in the middle of nowhere, I'm gonna sell him as a slave and say that he killed my kid, or something to that extent. It doesn't, it's, you know, but yeah, I have some questions about Saga's Cliffs. Ask someone who cares. I think the city's a sewer. Okay, very well. Not gonna help you out. Didn't even need to tell her whether or not I wanted to help her out. Look at that. And Hiccup's trying to murder me. This guy's selling headaches, or I suppose cures for headaches. But he was saying before that broken dreams and all, we buy and sell used memories here, but he doesn't actually let us buy. This reminds me of Kaiba. Kaiba is a very weird anime series, 10 episodes I think, but I really recommend it to anyone that can at least stand Japanese animation. Even if you're not a fan, you really should check it out. It's Kaiba, I think that's how it goes, and it's a really weird world where apparently memories are sold. Or actually, it's not the memories, it's the bodies. I don't remember, but it's really interesting. It's just really interesting, and it reminds me of that because she was selling memories, which is different, but it amounts to the same as selling the body, because you need to keep the memory somewhere, right? Saga's townsperson, what is this over here? Subtle energy plays along the cables, the whether to prepare the fish for consumption or deter their thefts, you couldn't say. Or the theft, you couldn't say. Okay, we got a few townsperson over here, townspeople over here, and we got a very pretty bridge. Not really pretty, actually. It looks pretty up close, but I don't like the proportions. It's, I don't like that. Let's not go there right now. Let's look at the map. And we have Cliff's Edge over there. I prefer this sort of map to Tyranny's, to be honest. Tyranny's map, it's just you need to hold the M key, and it's kind of, I don't like it. I prefer this one much better. It's a nice experiment, I guess, for Tyranny, but what are these guys? Autochtons? I saw a woman with head of an anthropod. Is normal here? Autochtons, what does that mean? Does it mean like they're, you know, immigrants and stuff? We got a mutant over here. Well, it's Piccolo. Look at that. It's green. Or it could be Shrek. The sun is nourishing today, is he not? Oh, I see. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. He's just, he's got chlorophyll or whatever, photosynthesis or something to that extent. What is this thing up here? Embedded in the cliff, a cliff wall, is a massive structure that clearly predates the buildings that surround it. Does it clearly do that? Well, I suppose it does. Kind of. This one, at least. How do you tell, though? Because look at this. I have no idea if it predates or not. How would you know? Anyway, we got things over here. What is this over here? The size of the human figure that's repeated through the camp is highly unusual. It's used as a symbol suggests the elevation of humanity, or perhaps a specific person. Yeah, it's that thing over there. Should I pay attention? We got a levy over there. We got a traveler. Changing God cultist over there. I arrived last night from Harif. Are you new to Sagas as well? Okay, that's another city. We heard about Lauric, and now we have Harif. I'm just writing them down. I don't know if the game keeps a journal, though. Let me see. Like not a journal, but like Tyranny and... I don't know if Tyranny has that, but Peels of Eternity has that. It's like a glossary, and it's pretty cool for you just to, you know, immerse yourself in all the knowledge, all the lore. We got a crier over here. Let's hear about... Ooh, a performer. Hello, sir. Or ma'am. You see... I sing of roaming shadows, of eye and bloody claw, of tooth and burning meadow, of hunger red and raw. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was really nice. I mean, it wasn't fantastic, but at least the metric was there. I hate it when just games have, like, poems and the metric is not there. It's terrible. Oh, boy. I hate when poems are like that, not just in games. Let's have a chat here with the crier. Rogue Skydus spotted in Cliff's Edge. Lord Vutgun, or Vuntgun, promises to track the beast down. I don't know the name of my lord. Okay. There goes the child. What is this? You feel a slight tugging in the corner of your mind when gazing upon the symbol. Again, it's this symbol. Okay, let's go around a little bit. We got the changing god cultists over there. Don't really want to talk to them for right now. This probably is going to do something to them. Balazar. This thin, fidgeting Aeon priest shoots furtive, sidelong glances at the creature in the nearby cage, while humming a nonchalant tune. When he sees that you are watching him, he flinches. Over the course of a few frantic breaths, shock becomes embarrassed anger, and he opens his mouth to shout at you. There must be a way, but how? They never leave it alone, he thinks. Then he spots Aligern at your side and sneers. Oh, look! You found someone to chase shadows with, Aligern. How much are you paying him to pretend your blather makes sense? He spits at your companion's feet. People don't like Aligern over here. Aligern raises his eyebrows at the spatter of wet dirt. It's nice to be famous. Not that you'd know, because I sure as hell don't know you. He smirks in your direction. Typical Order of Truth acolyte here, treating tasty gossip as evidence. Doesn't matter if something's true, so as long as it's interesting. Oh, maybe they should call it the Order of Trust then. Aligern barks a laugh. Well, maybe. Most of them sure as hell aren't chasing the truth anymore. You turn back to Baleazar. The young priest is regarding both of you sourly. Yeah, just after I made that remark, I suppose he would. I really don't care for him. I'm trying to build a connection here with Aligern. He's dumb, but he helps me, so it's fine. I don't actually know if he's dumb. I mean, he's kind of showed that he's... I don't know if he's dumb. I've been judging him a little bit too much. But my character has not realized that, so I'm just gonna play as if my character thinks he's dumb. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. What do you know about the creature over there? I'm gonna ask. What? Balazar says, jumping. Then he takes a breath and struggles to sound offhand. Oh, it's a something. It's a biological creature. It's a biomechanical creature, I mean. An information gatherer, in fact. He seems to calm down as he warms to the topic. They're dangerous, though. You can only speak to them at night. During daylight, they'll attack without provocation. Attacks without thinking, huh? Aligern says, smirking at the Balazar. You're practically twins. What? You're planning something, aren't you? Baleazar weighs the intent of your words with the narrowed eyes. Are you with the Order of Truth? Or just snooping? Yeah, I'm a friend of the Order. Yeah, I am. Maybe I can help you with whatever you're trying to do. Okay, so this is gonna be really bad for me. This is a tricky one, isn't it? Base difficulty 20%. And I can bring it up to 70% right there. That's not terrible. 85% over here. Yeah, he could go with that. 85%. I could go with that. I'm gonna do this like this. I didn't succeed. He looks you up and down. You're no friend of the Order, and I'm not planning anything. I'm enjoying the fresh air. Honesty and openness, hallmarks of the Order, says Aligern, keeping his voice low. If you really want to know what he's up to, you could ask one of the other priests at the Order. I'm sure they'd be happy to sell out his secrets. Oh, really? Can you tell me, No. Okay, farewell? Yes, farewell. Okay, so we failed that, but we might be able to talk to another priest in the Order. So wait a minute, these are the changing god cultists, but not the Order of Truth. Where's the Order of Truth? So the Order of Truth is not here. Is in a completely... Oh, he was in the government district, wasn't it? I think so. That's to the underbelly. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we have arms merchant over here, and I'm gonna check up there, and we're gonna learn about these guys, about that in a little bit. Filleth. Hey, what is it? A creature? Yeah, I can kind of tell. It reminds me of the Ascended Sleepers in Morrowind. A creature floats before you, hidden inside the bulk of its armor, cloth robes unmoving and unmoved by your presence. Exactly who or what the thing is, man or machine, mutant or monster, is impossible to discern. Its glass face reveals nothing but your reflection. Its mechanical voice reveals nothing at all. You recall that this creature is known as a Filleth, but you don't know anything else about them. Exquisite, the Filleth grates in greeting, perhaps lost in its own inscrutable thoughts. The Filleths, oh, that's my Lord Mythical speaking right there. The Filleths are said to have vast knowledge of the mysteries of the Ninth World and the Numenera of ages past, but prying those secrets loose can be a fool's errand. Why, thank you, he replies. Oh, Tibir's replying right there. He thought, what is he trying to pull? The Filleths does not acknowledge his quip or even his existence in any way. The creature's thoughts are as obscure as its glass face. It's as though it weren't even there. You are exquisite as well. A sound like the grinding of grit-filled gears is the thing's only response. But my gold tide has raised a tiny amount? Yes, a tiny amount. For a moment that stretches uncomfortably, you feel the cold scrutiny of the Filleths upon you. At last, it speaks again. You ask, but the world rebukes. The Filleths' implacable glass gaze bores through your skin and sees more than others do, and it seems to be seeking something from you. I think I can persuade. Let's try that. Tell me about yourself. I got a 70% right there. I got a 65, and I got a 45 over there. Let's go with this one. You fully depleted one of your stat pools. Did I succeed? Nope, I failed. That's bad. You fully depleted one of your stat pools, might, speed, or intellect. To recover your stat pool, you can find a place to sleep or a consumable. Yes, I know. For a moment, the Filleths' face darkens. Then, without inflection, it answers. The cursed Qui hungers, and it feeds, but it is denied satiation. I really wanted to know a little bit more about that. Do you know anything about the sorrow? About the resonance chamber built by the changing god? Silence lingers long until at last the Filleth speaks. I know it shall be 3. I know the first cannot be trusted. I know 1 changes as you change. I know they seek an undoing. Its glass face storms, but the Filleth says no more. It shall be 3. The first cannot be trusted. 1 changes as I do, and they seek an undoing. 3 sorrows? Huh. What do you want from me? The Filleth ponders silently until at last it asks, when you faced Koro, it says, why did you not step first with your left foot? My character is gonna say I had no reason. I think that fits him a little bit better. Ooh, red tide. Huh. The Filleth accepts your answer in silence, then after a long pause replies, in his vault, the Cloven One reads from his great book to his disciples. He sleeps and awakens, and has forgotten his place in the grimoire. He begins anew. The book is a part of him. He has no legs and takes no steps. It is his own self from which he reads. It is his own self that is incomplete. It is his own self that binds him in the vault of his own mind. Aligern steps towards the Filleths. You speak of Dinanuk. Dinanuk, yeah. The one who sits in the waters between the worlds. You've seen him? The Filleths whirs and rumbles, then lowers its head, perhaps in negation, perhaps in acknowledgement. Aligern growls in frustration. So, please tell me, what more do you want from me? When the Filleth at last answers, its mechanical voice seems to creak. You did not accept your fall. When you are served the bitter root, will you eat? I don't know. The Filleth is silent, showing neither satisfaction nor dismay at your response. I think no would be the correct one. Do you have any more questions for me? The words so rushed they almost jumbled together, the Filleth asked. When you stood in the place of shifting floors, which way did your shadow fall? This is... I don't know. Oh, but I can know. Oh, I so can know. I got the videos on me. Give me a little bit. Oh, I know. I know. It's behind. But it's a guess. Unless it's not the same thing. Oh, well, when I stood up, the first area in the game, it's behind. You're looking at the bowl. We have a bowl over here. And I got a hiccup. And you're looking at it, and the shadow is behind me. A long rumble echoes from inside the Filleth's robes, changing at last to words. In the village of Thorn, or Thom, rather, it is written, the Eremite Alajaser... Wait a minute. Is that him? Aligern? Nah. Descended deep into the darkness, for he could not bear to see his shadow. Any more questions? No. Please tell me about yourself in a way that I can understand. No. Oh, requires trained title affinity skill. What? We can get skills for title. That's okay. So you've been following me? In memory, cause follows effect. In rain, the colors run. A long rumble suggests that the Filleth has more to say, but nothing emerges. Why are you so interested in my choices? In its slow rumble, the Filleth replies, they are not yours. Oh, what do your questions mean? What do you want? Yes. The single flat word lingers in the air until the Filleth adds, what is the answer? Perhaps the thing wants you to answer your own question. Let's see. You want to know everything, don't you? The Filleth accepts your answer silently, giving no clue as to what passes within its impervious robes behind its impenetrable mask. At last, the thing replies, all is one, but one is not as the rest. Huh. As you step away, the Filleth swivels to keep its glass face trained upon you. Exquisite, it says again. That's weird. I don't really know what to make out of that encounter right there. But we can come back when we have a tight affinity skill. The energy trapped within the disc inset at the top of the pillar that line the pillars that line this wall appears to pulse slightly differently as people walk in front of them. Do they actually do that? Or do we need to go upstairs? Maybe it doesn't do that. It's fine. What do we have? We have Casmine up here. Is a guy or girl. And we have Minmei. As you approach the duo, you see that they are arguing heatedly but quietly. The petite woman turns towards you. Her hair is unusual, a light, almost yellow color, and her bright eyes dominate her pretty face. Excuse me, sir, my friend and I were having a discussion, and her eyes fall upon your tattoo and her breath catches audibly in her throat. A cast-off! One I've never seen, she thinks. Her partner is an unnaturally tall man, gaunt and sour-faced, his voice sonorous, with fingers that twitch and weave through strange contortions. Occasional light sparks in the air as he does. He turns to you and opens his mouth to speak, registers your tattoo and closes it again. His throat bobs for a moment and he says, "It is an honor." He nods his head to the two of them. He? Oh, Aligern does. Aligern nods his head to the two of them. "I've brought someone you should meet." He turns to you. "These are Casmine and Minmei. They're the leaders of the local branch of, your church." "Oh, you have our thanks for the introduction, Aligern. Our deepest thanks." Oh, actually, that was the guy talking. He eyes the Aeon priest for a moment. Was it Aligern? Yeah, Minmei is the guy. He eyes the Aeon priest for a moment as if about to say more, but thinks better of it. Interesting, he thinks. Aligern has rarely seemed so, helpful to us in the past. Yeah, he wants something. He collects himself. "If I might impose on your time for a moment, will you tell me about your tattoo? How did you shape it? Do you know why it differs from the others?" All is one, but one is not like the others, is what he meant. Seems fairly inconsequential, but that's what he said. I'm having trouble placing him, he thinks. Could it be I need more time to question him? Others? You mean other cast-offs? "Yes, revered one, your siblings." He bows deeply, and his fingers spark with a repressed joy. "You are a child of the changing god. His mind saw the world through your eyes. He gained knowledge in your body, as he has done countless times over the centuries. The tattoo on your head marks you. With your eyes, it has a role to play in his creation of you, his cast-off shells. You are welcome here, revered one. We stand ready to serve as we can. Have you any questions for us?" "Yes, who are you?" He considers your words before answering, a thoughtful pause. "I am Minmei. I am one of the leaders of the cult of the Changing God in Sagas Cliffs, and my primary duty is as Chief Archivist. My colleague is Casmine, he says. She is responsible for the day-to-day administration of our encampment." What can you tell me about the city?" "The city your sire built and defended? The cradle of civilization? The center of the empire of knowledge?" His eyebrows rise, and his slow tone is effusive. "It is among the great works of humanity in the Ninth World. Built on the foundations laid by unknown creators, it has risen to become one of the preeminent cities of Garavia Sound, or on Garavia Sound. He pauses. It is somewhat diminished in these latter years, to be sure. Perhaps if the changing god were to return to lead us to glory. Anything else about the city? Oh, many thousands of souls call Sagas Cliffs their home, says Kasmin. They came here for safety, for succor, rather, and the changing god protected them. Now you can visit the spires of the government square where he once sat, or the places where his machines once shifted the city out of time. Your sire even faced the bloom when he was here. She represses a shiver, but you should avoid it at all costs. There is much else to do in the city if you want to walk in your sire's footsteps. Huh. The bloom. He faced the bloom. And they go to work in the bloom? What? Is that like the place outside of the city? Are we like in a sort of dome? Anything else? Oh, she just says the same thing. Do you know anything about the sorrow? She shudders and touches herself ritualistically on the forehead and on her lips. A monster of deepest nightmare. I have heard that it wants you dead. Every one of the Holy One's creations, all dead. I don't know why, but it hates you. Anything else? Minmei nods somberly, raising a finger to his forehead. Only that it is remorseless, pitiless, and it wants nothing more than the destruction of you and all those who, like you, were created by your sire. Wait a minute, so the statue... Okay, now we know. The statue that we saw before, that was the sorrow killing somebody else, that was another one of the cast-offs. So it could be that we're the last cast-off, as in the last one to survive, and that might be the whole thing. It's good that the game presented me with a seemingly main antagonist right at the beginning. At least we know what we're dealing with, right? At least, it's much better just to focus the storyline. Can you tell me about the meaning of this tattoo again? Oh, again. He bows. You are a cast-off of the changing god, our inspiration, the man who has cheated death for centuries so that he might accumulate wisdom. He wears bodies like clothes and abandons them where he has exhausted his studies in them. Yet when he leaves, a spark of consciousness remains. Your consciousness, revered one. So, what can you tell me about my sire? You mean the most accomplished inventor of our time? The hero of Sagas Cliffs? The man who dodged death itself? The Time Weaver? The man who destroyed the Tabat? Oh, we have so much to say. And she catches herself. But perhaps we should wait for another time. Sure. Do you know anything about the device called the Resonance Chamber? Rumor and conjecture, nothing more, says Minmei. Idle speculation from those who wish to pretend to knowledge of your sire's motivations, passed along as fact. He leans out to touch you. Have you seen it? Do you know where it is? What it does? I need to know who can repair it. So you have seen it? You have touched it? She catches herself. She seems almost overwhelmed. Your tattoo, like all the others, but this one is different. Minmei looks sharply at you now, all distraction gone. I do not recognize you, he says. You do not match any descriptions we have recorded. She snaps her fingers as if she's finally figuring out the mystery. Wait, let me remember your face. And she studies you carefully. Oh my, you're new. Are you the changing god? Can it be? And she reaches out to touch your sleeves and pulls her hand back quickly. No, I'm not the changing god. Aligern's eyes flicker towards you, and his mouth draws down for a moment, but he says nothing. He nods satisfied, Minmei does. As I thought, you are a cast-off, one of his children. He touches you with his long-fingered hand as if in consolation. There is no shame in such a thing. Many cast-offs have come to our attention, and some of them have sought to deceive us so that they might seem more important. He smiles softly. If you are as new as you suspect, it is better for us, to know the truth of your existence than to bluster and lie. Crestfallen, Kasmin touches your shoulder. Are you sure you're not? And she catches herself. No, why would you lie about that? With a noticeable effort, she wrenches herself into optimism, and she chirps. Oh, but you're new, aren't you? You're new! Have you decided what you'll do? What you'll be? Your sires that have children, all the children have done amazing things, amazing! And no doubt you will as well. Minmei lays a hand on her shoulders, and his voice is low, cautionary. Cass. She looks away from you for a moment, swallowing sudden tears, and he says, we have a request for you. He gestures towards the clock behind him. Dark figures circumbalance these clock faces. I theorize that your sire's creations of the time shields that protected this city established a connection with his future selves. Given this, we believe those figures may be cast-offs, or ghosts of cast-offs, perhaps, the living shells of the bodies your creator has worn previously. His fingers shrug eloquently for him. The clock is unmoored in time, you see. We do not have a knowledge sufficient to investigate, but you might. You have a connection with he who created the clock. You should be able to align it with the present time and uncover who these figures are. A gentle, rare smile appears. If you cannot, at least you will increase our store of knowledge. She smiles bravely, looking between Minmei and you, and says, and then we can answer the questions you must have. Right, Mim? So do you have an idea how to fix the clock? We have tried. I have appealed to the Order of Truth. I have spoken with eminent seekers of knowledge, and we have sent for wisdom from as far as the Steadfast. A great achievement, you must agree. None have given us an answer. We believe your sire created the device, or had a hand in it. Perhaps, Minmei dances across his fingers. His hungry-eyed compatriot steps in. Perhaps you can find an answer where others have failed, and then we can help you. She turns away. You will have our boundless gratitude, revealed one. Oh, we have a quest. We need to fix the clock. Is it this thing? Is this a clock? I mean, I suppose. Well, we're gonna know about that in the next episode. For now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment, Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.